Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I know FarQ said she would be back. She was doing the cat. So if you're back, hello, my love. Hello, anybody that's lurking in the bushes. I do appreciate it if you guys would take the time to subscribe, like, share this video. Trying to get the channel back out into the algorithm. I know I'm not talking about all the fun, juicy stuff that most channels that are live's talking about right now. I refuse to talk about one certain high profile case just due to what I do and my job. It's a little too risky to talk about that case as much as I want to, and as much as it eats me alive not to be able to cover the girls. But I can't right now because, not to put too much out there, but what I do on a daily basis is speak every day with people in that city and surrounding cities. So I can't take a chance of my voice getting attached to that case and be recognized for what I do during the day. So, welcome in, everybody. I am turning it on subscribers mode only, so you do have to wait 1 minute to chat, but you're welcome to chat as long as you stay respectful. I did have an amazing live scheduled for tonight, but at the last minute, the person that I had coming on wanted to reschedule the live for 7:30, and I just can't do that after I've pulled resources. So I rescheduled that for next week because I had resources that were going to be in the live and listening, so they're able to utilize their resources. So I'm a little bit upset about that, but we'll move on from that because I don't want to dwell on that. But I figured tonight we would just kind of talk about some creepy stories, and I had some videos ready that I was going to share with you guys, but I'm not able to find those because I don't know what I did with them. So, I mean, until I can switch over to the MacBook, it's kind of hard to keep a lot on this one because it doesn't hold a lot of memory. And like, because of, excuse me, my son, I have some like amazing different stuff in the background on my laptop that's really cool, and I don't want to lose any of that stuff because he's my IT guy. So sometimes I have to delete videos. This says she was doing the cats. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. So for those of you that know, I'm from Paducah, Kentucky, and there's some pretty creepy stuff that happens in Paducah, Kentucky, and some pretty cool, creepy stories. So I've talked about the dog man before, and that's super cool story to talk about. But since it is almost Halloween, I thought maybe we would talk about something a little different tonight. So my hometown is famous for a mummy. His name was Speedy, and I've covered him briefly on my channel before. And I want to kind of show his story because it's kind of creepy. And as a child, hello, German Shepherd Mom, welcome in. As a child, I remember going with my grandfather and meeting certain person there at a business in Paducah, Kentucky, and Speedy was a mummy that was there, and I was always intrigued by him. If you guys were in my last live, you may have heard me when I had my interview with Cheryl Mack, who was amazing guest, and much love for her coming in and being inspiring and telling us about her story and her awesome friendship with Nancy Grace and how awesome Nancy is, because y'all know I love me some Nancy. So I believe this is the one that's a good one. Let me pull it up real quick so I can make sure it tells the whole story, because some of them are just his grave, and I actually don't want to show the ones that are just his grave, because originally he was in a pauper's grave. So let me see if I can find one of them. It's kind of an older video, and I'll drop the channel link. I believe it's this one. Yeah, this is one of the best ones. And I'll go ahead and drop the channel link in the chat so you guys can go give this channel a full view. But this is Speedy. This happened during the Great Flood of Paducah. And of course, if you've ever heard me talk about the Great Flood of Paducah, you also know that there was a flood that happened. My grandfather was actually one of the people that built the flood wall in Paducah. And when the famous artist came in and painted the flood wall, it was a really big deal in my hometown. So I'm going to pull this up. Okay, so the channel link is in the description. And of course, I'm going to commentate because
In
some
this
of
episode
these
of Abandoned West Kentucky, we won't be talking about a business or a property. We will
are
be talking about the legendary Speedy
not
Atkins,
locals.
a man who spent more of his time in the public eye deceased than he of Paducah's most famous mummy, Charles Speedy Atkins.
I'm not going to play the music. So this is the racetrack. This racetrack's actually owned by a famous NASCAR driver's son now. They use it for a playground. This is the theater downtown Paducah. As a child, we used to go and watch penny movies there, so it was pretty cool. And I'll make this a little bit bigger. So I'm kind of waiting for the music to end. Of course, that's a crick. And this is the story of Charles Speedy Atkins. He is Paducah, Kentucky's most famous
Charles
mummy.
Speedy Atkins, sometimes referred to as Henry in some publications, was born in 1875 and spent his early years in Tennessee, eventually making his way to Kentucky to look for work as an adult. Charles found work in the tobacco industry at Dixon Tobacco and even got his nickname Speedy from working in tobacco due to his quickness in handling the crop.
I guess my
According to
internet's gonna
Wikipedia,
glitch, of
while in
course.
Paducah, Kentucky, Charles befriended a man named A.Z. Hammock, an African American who owned the city's.
So something kind of cool is Paducah is known for the atomic city because we had USEC, which was a nuclear plant that was shut down about, God, I don't know, probably about 10 years ago. They're still shutting it down, actually. You're not allowed on the property because it's nuclear. But I'll let this play.
His only funeral home specifically for African Americans. At this time in history, segregation had unfortunately yet to be abolished. Speedy's friend A.Z. Hammock, the owner of the funeral home, will become a very important figure later in the story.
This is doing this. It's so irritating.
On May 30th, 1928, Speedy went fishing on the Ohio riverbank near Owens Island. According to reports, as the warm afternoon set in, Speedy somehow fell into the river and drowned while fishing. A few stories out there mention that Speedy frequently drank homemade brew, and some claim that this may have contributed to him falling in the river.
So just part of being from Paducah, if you do drink moonshine, it's kind of a normal thing, especially if you can find good moonshine.
None of Speedy's family came forward to claim the body, so the owner of the funeral home mentioned earlier, A.Z. Hammock, was given the body to perform what was then considered a pauper's burial. A pauper's burial is a grave paid for at public expense because the deceased person's family could not afford one.
So the paupers' graves, just fun fact, are over by the football field that Lone Oak High School used. Lone Oak High School is no longer there. Now it's the Mustangs, and it's in West Paducah.
Or no family members could be found. A.Z. Hammock had developed an embalming fluid, and instead of burial, A.Z. decided to perform an experiment on Speedy using this special embalming fluid that he mixed himself in hopes it would preserve the body and keep all odors at bay.
And he took the recipe to his grave with him too. Just a little piece of information to share.
Hammock reportedly received permission from the local coroner to perform the experiment. According to several sources, AZ was fascinated by how Egyptians mummified bodies and wanted to try the process himself. AZ's secret mixture of embalming fluid turned Speedy's corpse into a wooden like statue, transforming his skin into a reddish color but leaving his facial features recognizable. Hammock often put the well preserved body on display at his funeral home. When it wasn't on display, it was stored in the funeral home's closet. Locals and tourists alike
And if you're not a local, you wouldn't knew this, but he actually stored him in the closet and he hung him from a hook in the closet whenever he was stored in the closet.
would visit the body, and it quickly became a popular tourist attraction. In 1937,
He actually stood in the window a lot of times, and you could drive down Kentucky Avenue and you would see him standing in the window. So a lot of the stories left out by the sky, but it's one of the best ones that kind of shows the flood and everything.
Speedy was again a victim of the Ohio River as floodwaters rushed through downtown Paducah during the famous 1937 flood, washing Speedy's body away from the funeral home.
Okay, so something else interesting that happened during that flood is a famous cow called Bessie the cow, and she was on the, I believe it was the second or third floor balcony of what's now the Urban Cobb.
Members of the cleanup crew recognized Speedy and returned him to Hammock shortly after finding him. While on display at the funeral home, Speedy's body was taken very good care of. Staff would carefully wash and dress him 3 times a year to keep mold away. A.Z. Hammock died December 26, 1949, never sharing his secret embalming formula with anyone, only revealing that the concoction's ingredients could be purchased at a grocery store. After A.Z.'s passing, his wife Velma took over custody of Speedy's body and kept it on display for another 45 years, welcoming anyone who wanted to visit him. In May of 1994, Speedy was finally laid to rest 66 years after his death. About 200
Okay, so the reason he was laid to rest is because some of his family did show up and she was not happy that he had been on display.
people attended the service for him at the Washington Street Baptist Church. Reverend H. Joseph Franklin said of Speedy at the funeral, "He came to Paducah a pauper, poor, homeless, a nobody. Today, he's going to be laid to rest at last as a celebrity." Speedy's funeral, coffin, and burial plot were all donated by businesses in the neighborhood where he once lived. He is buried at Maple Lawn Park Cemetery. Velma Hammock said of Speedy, "I never saw a dead man bring so much happiness to people." Throughout his time on display at the funeral home, museums and carnivals tried to buy Speedy from AZ and Velma Hammock, but AZ refused, saying, "Slavery was over and we don't sell bodies at the Hammock Funeral Home." Thanks for joining us on this look back at Charles Speedy Adkins, a man who became famous in one of the most unique ways imaginable. Leave a comment below if you remember hearing about this story, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content featuring stories, abandoned buildings, and all things Western Kentucky.
Okay, so now I'm going to share a ghost stories about Paducah, Kentucky. This thing is an eyesore. Is it sharing or is it froze? It's probably froze because my computer hates me. There it goes. Yeah, I'm not going to play the music. So this is some of the downtown. These are some older cities. This is called the ghost signs. These were painted on the signs of buildings, of pharmacies and places like that. And it's going to have music through the whole thing, I guess. So this is how they had their signs, because downtown Paducah is very, very old. A lot of it still has brick roads that were made from brick, and there is a lot of really pretty stuff. Like, whoever edited this did a really good job. But the music playing in the background, I can't handle the music. But some of these buildings are still there. This is the Irvin Cobb. This is an extremely haunted hotel. Now it's got apartments in it, and it's not your most savvy people that live there. I'll just put it that way, not to be ugly. And Paducah is known for quilting. We're famous for quilting. And this is actually what it's showing here. The fabric shop is an antique store now, or it was like 10 years ago. But this is most of them are faded now. Some of them have been repainted. Some of these buildings are gone. Some of them, I know what they are, but most of them have been repurposed because it's a really old town. So I'll drop this channel in the description or in the chat as well, just so I can give full credit for the videos. Yeah, it's Cobblestone Road. Thank you, Dandy, and welcome in, love. Old brick. And if you go downtown to Paducah, the gazebo, if you guys know my real name, it's actually on a brick. So we're also known for the riverboats. I think this one's might be the Mississippi Queen. It's usually the one that you see docked down there. I think it is the Mississippi Queen or the Queen of Mississippi, whatever. We call it the Mississippi Queen if you're local. So usually she docks down at the riverfront. So that one's pretty cool. Let's see what else I can find. See, we'll put my big head up there while I look here. Some stuff is really cool. So we have like the barbecue on the river, but this isn't what I was looking for. Let's see. And for y'all that know, Paducah is a little town that's snuggled between Monkey's Eyebrow and Possum Trot. And those are real towns. And I'm not even sure if I can find anything. Like I said, I have a bunch of stuff I should have probably. That one's probably got a bunch of music on it. I don't want to do that one. I was gonna see if I couldn't find something cool on here, but really don't see anything that's not something I want to share. So let's look up this. This is one that you guys should all know about. And I have kind of a creepy story. So this is a full documentary. Probably going to skip through some of it because, like I said, most of the time these guys are not locals. So you get like part of the story. So I'll try to fill in what
16-year-old vampire Rod.
Yeah, and like this guy sounds like he's from a different country, so I'll fill in what's not there. But this is the vampire killers.
2 years ago in Florida, a 16-year-old vampire, Rod Ferrell, from the nearby state of Kentucky, brutally bludgeoned
Graphic
to death
content
the
warning.
parents of one of his teenage disciples in what was described as a ritual vampire slaying.
Rod, I think you're a disturbed young man. I think your family failed you. I think society failed you.
I wouldn't go so
Also,
far
I'm
as to
here
say
to
his
tell you.
family failed him. That's kind of a dirtbag
And
thing
the
for a judge to
considered judgment
say that's
of
from
this
Florida
court,
and doesn't know
the
shit about my
troubled and
hometown.
disturbed youth cannot serve
But
as
I'll
an
just leave it
excuse
at that.
for cold-blooded, premeditated
I mean, his
murder.
mom wasn't like the best
In
mom in the
spite of
world,
his
but
youth,
still.
the state of Florida sentenced Rod to death. Now he's on death row, waiting to go to the electric chair.
The electric chair has always been a main icon in the darker way of life. You know, everyone sees it
So
as
all they did was give him
this
what he wanted.
big majestic throne of death.
which, being in Florida, they do
So
some
I
pretty
always did
stupid
wonder
shit
what
down
it'd be
here.
like to
So,
sit in it and actually experience death through it.
and I'm not. We're gonna
So that
skip
part doesn't
this
really
because
bother
I'm
me
not
at
gonna
all.
give him the joy.
They've just gone underground, or maybe someone will change their minds or what has happened to them, but you just don't see them as often as you used to.
And this is an older video.
Here we go again.
Small group is the last of the Murray vampires.
And some
Rod was a
fireballs.
member of this vampire family until a few weeks before his killing spree.
And Murray's a college town, so you end up with a lot of like kids that don't have anything better to do than be a vampire. Because if you're from the area, the Vampire Hotel is in Land Between the Lakes. And like when I was a kid, you could go up there. And this is when I was a kid. This is when these kids weren't even born yet. You could go up there and there would be like cat heads and goat heads and all kinds of stuff hanging going down the gravel road to the Vampire Hotel. And the story of Land Between the Lakes is actually really heartbreaking. They went up there and they ran all the people out. A lot of people were murdered if they didn't leave their land. The government took the land, they flooded it. So now you have a lot of skeletons of homes and stuff like that. And I think this documentary sucks. We may not watch this. I may just sit here and ramble for a few more minutes because this is just irritating because this guy doesn't even, he just took stock footage. Let me see if I can find the one I did on my channel. But anyway, so the Land Between the Lakes is where they went in, and Barkley Lake and Kentucky Lake, and then there's a lake peninsula that lays in between, and that's where the remnants happen, or the remnants of the homes are left from where they ran all the people out of their homes. And it's also Native American land, so a lot of people think that that's where the dog man came from, is that he's like a skinwalker. That story is really creepy. So the dog man of LBL supposedly has terrorized the area for 100 years or better. And there's a family, you guys can look it up. It's actually a famous story about a family that was brutally murdered, and their camper was ripped apart, and the state police were involved, but it was covered up for a long time because it would have hurt the tourism in Land Between the Lakes. But it was a family that was brutally murdered. So when they went and they investigated the murder, they couldn't find the little girl. So as the state police are walking through the woods searching for this little girl, and I believe it was the next day. I'm doing this off memory, guys. I believe it was the next day, and a state cop was walking through the woods, and he felt something dripping onto his shoulder. And when he looked up, what was left from the little girl was actually hanging from the tree and dripping onto his shoulder. Now, I've talked to the girl's granddaughter that was working at the BP station when you first get off the interstate. And her grandmother actually wrote a book and talked about how terrified that these guys were that found those bodies. But if you look through YouTube, you'll find a bunch of people that are not locals that tell this story. Me and Mr. Sunshine actually watched one the other day that was a guy did all like cartoon animated story, so it was okay, and he like hit most of the points. But like I said, when you're not a local, you don't hear the story firsthand, and you don't get the actual story. You get something where somebody's Googled it and they've put a bunch of other people's information together and made a story out of it. But those of y'all that have been around and have heard my story, I was camping in LBL. We'd been there for 2 weeks, off grid camping. It's called backwoods camping because you don't have any electric or nothing like that. And crickets and all that stuff you hear out in the wilderness. And all of a sudden, you couldn't hear anything. And I heard like trees breaking in the woods and no sound whatsoever. So outside of our tent was a huge shadow. And I'll go to my grave that it had to be the dog man. And see, something else about LBL is you're not allowed to have guns up there because it's government land. So you almost wonder, do they not want him killed because he brings tourists there now that people are not scared to talk about the dog man? And you have YouTubers that are not locals that are going up there and trying to catch footage of the dog man. So it's a little creepy. And then we're also known for Bigfoots in the area. That's something that's a known story. And then we have a famous murder from way back in the day. I know I did a story on this. Hang on. I know I did. It was way back when, so I'm searching for it, guys. I apologize. This is not what I had set up to do live tonight. So I might be just a little off because this is not what I had planned. I had the guy that allegedly witnessed Jimmy Hoffa's murder that was supposed to come on. So I apologize for being offset tonight, guys. Normally I'm not so offset, but I am a little bit tonight. I know I made a video. I may not have ever uploaded it. Or you know what? It might have been a live. Because it was a long time ago when I did it. And used to, guys, I go live at like 2 o'clock in the morning because I was getting my feet wet going live. So it's possible I may have done it as a live. There ain't no telling. Because I used to get deep down rabbit holes in the middle of the night. So I'm looking to see if I had it as a live. Let's see. It's the Murder Billboard. If you guys haven't watched my series on the Murder Billboard, I suggest you go watch that and you'll understand a lot of why these cases out of Tennessee don't get the coverage that they should get because of the corruption in Tennessee. A lot of these are from Mustang races and Hermosa Springs, Cocoa, my only toes turtle. I don't see it, so I don't know what I did with it. I don't know. It should be on here somewhere. I thought it was my hometown or something. I don't know, guys. I apologize for not being better set up than I was tonight. Thank you for being here, though. If you're lurking in the bushes, I appreciate you hitting that thumbs up button. Guess we can share some shorts. If you guys haven't seen my shorts, make sure you check out my shorts because I work really hard on my shorts. So we'll share some of my shorts. I'm probably just going to end this live because I'm just kind of offset tonight and I apologize. And I don't want to. Did you see the video of the Sasquatch from Durango to Silverton train? No, I haven't. I haven't seen that one. I've seen a lot of videos on Sasquatch. So My oldest son sends me this. For those of y'all that know me, and here, I'll come on camera for just a minute here so I can show my amazing coffee cup that I got at CrimeCon. Let me make myself bigger. Surviving the Survivor podcast. If you're not subbed up, make sure you guys go sub up. But super proud of that. So I wanted to just share that with you guys. I don't smoke on camera and I'm kind of irritable, so I'll probably stay off camera for a little while. So this was a short that I wanted to share with you guys. So my son actually sent me this. He was super proud. Some of these are really cool. So if you haven't seen them, I want to share them.
Every time for 26 years.
Perfect coffee every time. And then look at this. Mr. Sunshine has went through, for those of y'all that have been here, extensive recovery, and he's going to show you guys what he can do now. For those of y'all that are new, he went through a car wreck on September the 6th, 2023. Both of his legs are broken, reconstructed with metal. He now has a fully metal femur bone. His hip has been reconstructed. His neck is broken. 6 broken ribs. And this is pure strength and recovery. Thank you, Dandy. He's doing this on no pain medication.
Yep, no pain pills. 0. Fuck with that. Oh, sorry. Mess with that.
You can't do that with him.
Want to start over?
Y'all, it was not September. It was July the 6th. Stress. I'm so stressed out. So this was my Happy Friday with it. I actually posted this at 7 o'clock in the morning for all the bandwagon jumpers.
Hi, Christy, Orlando, Florida. I have to say
So that was when I was on TMZ. If you guys didn't get to see my TMZ, I'm super proud of it. This was my lurking in the bushes. Because, yeah, that'd be me lurking all up in your bushes. I'd be lurking all up in your bushes. Hey, guys, One's Monsters here. Sunshine. That's where this little chick.
Hey, all my monsters. This is Sunshine here. This is Carly Gartina. She is missing up.
This is Charlotta. She's still missing. That was the boys.
Terrell and Jacqueline were.
Of course, it's gonna freeze on
Hey,
me.
all
I'm
my
looking for a
monsters.
specific
Sunshine
one.
here. So
Let me
Susan
try doing it
Voorhees.
like this. It's probably gonna be a lot easier. We'll look at a kind of a like how Utah is breaking a sad story, and then I want to show you when I'm in a bad mood, guys. Well, this one's hilarious. So we'll show this one, and then I'll go back and look for what I was looking for.
The itsy bitsy spider climbed up the prison wall. Out came the rain and washed away the law. Out came the sun and dried up all the fun. But the itsy bitsy spider, well, he's still on the run.
So that was kind of funny. I was super proud of my little itsy bitsy spider. This is my owl friend. This is a different feathered friend that usually he comes to visit me at night, but it's been a hurricane today. So hopefully you guys can see. He's super pretty.
Stop filming me. Shit, terrible. You broken legs.
This is one I like to watch when I'm in a bad mood. This is why you
don't do drugs.
I got broken legs and I can't walk. And
Mr. Sunshine is a champ. Yes, ma'am. He is 100, girl.
Leave me alone. Stop filming me.
All right, I'm getting off live in just a minute. I'm looking for the Christmas chicken. You gotta give me a minute. He wants help walking, so like I said, this is not gonna be a terribly long live. This was him when he first, the day he came home. So you guys see the little wiener that infiltrated his walk? She loves the daddy.
Oh, you're taking a picture. I got my baby right here. My baby. Oh, the mean baby. Oh.
He's home, y'all.
Happy to be home.
She's an evil little bird. And dude, let me tell you something. If you don't own wieners, I'm going to go ahead and give you a heads up. They stink so bad. She has the worst gas ever. She was over here hanging out with me earlier. Dude, it was so bad. I was like choking. It was so bad. Oh, God. It's bad when you own a 250-pound pit bull that has nothing on the wiener. Oh, it was awful. Like whew. I thought I was going to die over here. The pit bull has nothing on her. That's my trolls will be eating. My drama llama, the sub. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. This one's kind of cool. I was in my feelings that day. That's why he was in the hospital.
Always know you're braver. Always know you're braver than you know. You're stronger than you think. Believe in yourself. You are your first defense. You're your best warrior. Love yourself before anyone else can.
Lies. Lies, woman. She is an evil. I call her my little sweet angel because I know she's not. She's an evil little turd, man. She has the worst gas ever. I got on these bacon cheese. Oh, this is a good one too. This is my little stretched out little
Y'all
turtle.
see that? I'm gonna try to get closer. It's hard to camera and kayak, y'all, so I apologize for the
Yeah, I'll have to dig for it.
terrible kayak.
I can't find some of my videos, so I don't know if YouTube screwed me or what. That's my little stretched out toes.
Stretched out. I have never in my life seen. I mean, his little toes is stretched out.
This
Look
is
at
the
that.
turtle. Yeah.
He's living his best life. He's living his best life.
He's a little stretched out little toe turtle.
Leg turtle. Living his best
You hear my
life.
stepdaughter giggling in the background,
flying.
y'all?
I can fly.
These headphones, I've never
believe I
noticed
can
her giggling in the
fly.
background.
I
Oh my
believe
Lord,
I
that
can
child.
touch the sky.
Laughing at my singing's what she
All
was
right, I'll
doing.
stop.
This
Thank
is
you guys
Cracker
for
Creek.
subscribing to
I would not get in that water because it's brackish, which means that there could possibly be gators in that water. And Christy don't do gators. Y'all, I don't know what I've done. I upload way too many shorts. Good grief, I can't even find what I'm looking for. I should have went to the main page and did this. Oh, this is my little hummingbird friend. He's so cool. Girly runs him off every time he comes up. But he is such a sweetie. Mr. Sunshine bought him a really pretty feeder. Look at really Christmas chicken.
Good morning.
Coco, so it's got to be getting close. That was when we went to Coco. There's the castle. If you've never seen the castle, my sister's in chat. She can tell you all the castle's beautiful. Just ate a whole tube of Mentos. Bro, I ate a whole package of sweet tarts ropes earlier. No shame whatsoever. Sat outside and ate the whole package. I think I gave the dog like a little piece of it. But I straight up like ate the whole package. Zero shame. That was when we were headed to Clinton Simon. And because of all the drama, I made him turn around and bring us back home. I'm not going to be any part of that mess. That was Hermosa. I got to be getting close. That's the drag race. Was it? He's back here commentating unless y'all can't hear. He's directing me because he wants to walk. And I really want to share the Christmas chicken with y'all before I go. So I appreciate anybody that's still in here listening to me rant because I apologize for being in such a crappy mood. It just, you spend a lot of time like working on something and getting ready for it to come on the channel, you know what I mean? And like it just, it's very frustrating. Very frustrating. Where is the Christmas tree? Is it a short? I thought it was a short. Are you serious? I've been sitting here scrolling for no reason. I'm going to be so mad, dude. It is a short. Are you sure? Are you sure? Look, why does YouTube do this? Like, I'm not even subscribed to half of these people. And they be popping up on my stuff, man. I did not mean to hit studio either. Oh, I'm not doing good tonight. Is it? The castle is under new owners. I think this. Yeah, it's a bed and breakfast now. I've never had them before. I need more Mentos, dude. Let me tell you, I broke my tooth with a fruit flavored Mentos years ago. Broke it. I'm talking about like broke my tooth on a stupid Mento. Exactly. Where is the Christmas chicken? Y'all, I seriously thought it was a short. He's saying it's not. There's the armadillo. There's the day we were in Sanford. There it is. It is a short. See y'all. All right, y'all enjoy the Christmas chicken. It's muted. Hang on, we got to start over because y'all got to see this. There's a chicken. It's a Christmas chicken. We were in Christmas, Florida.
Christmas chicken? Hi. How are you? Well, hello. Get out of there. Get out of there. So this is what you don't do, is get caught feeding the chickens. Can't take him anywhere. Oh my God. So we'll video it and then we'll get the hell out of here.
There's the Christmas chicken. So that's my I'm Grumpy shared video. But thank you guys for being here. Love you all. Much respect. Thank you for putting up with me. I know I'm a little grumpy tonight, so I apologize. Just a little frustrated. It happens. But guys, you know, as always, remember, if you see something, say something. It takes a village to raise a child. And never give up. And you guys know you all mean the world to me, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you so, so much. I wouldn't be here without y'all. You're my community. You're my loves. You're my everything. So thank you for being amazing. And I'm going to go and help Mr. Sunshine walk for a little bit tonight before we go to bed. So as always, guys, if you need me, I'm easy to find. All my contact information's on my banner and my about. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Discord's also in my link, so if you want to hit up the Discord, you're more than welcome to come in there. We have some pretty fun stuff that we do in Discord as well. But have a good night. See y'all on the flip side.